Hey, it's Erin from Catawba Science Center. I want to share with you what our third graders learn about. When they come to the Science Center, they learn about matter. And this is a fun and easy activity that's no problem to do at home. So I have a few basic materials: baking soda and vinegar, and also hydrogen peroxide and dry yeast for bread making. And you put a tablespoon of the different solids in the baggies. A teaspoon or tablespoon, anywhere and around there is okay. And it's best if you have a sliding Ziploc, but just a press one would be sufficient. And then I have these liquids in these little containers measured out. I got about 30 milliliters, just a small amount. And you might have to have a couple of people working on this because you have to hold the bags and different things, so it'll be a challenge for me to show it to you, but I'm going to do my best. And you can talk to them about the different properties of solids. See how this powder is a solid and it keeps its own shape. It's not, you can't compress it, it doesn't diffuse. Both of these are solids, and we're going to be putting some liquids in them. You can tell them about how liquids take the shape of the bottom of their container. Sometimes you can describe it as being wet. And they do not compress, but they do diffuse. And maybe have one of your children hold this bag open and another person pour. And we're going to see what happens when we put this vinegar in the baking soda. Let's do it real fast. So we have a solid and a liquid together, and it's expanding. It's filling up with air. This chemical reaction is making a gas. Spread it around a little bit. And another thing to note is when I touch this, it's cold. It feels cool, which we would call endothermic reaction. But little kids don't need to know that, but big kids might like to be in on that information. And then you can also try this hydrogen peroxide and dry yeast. So see how I have the bag fairly skinny? When I put that in there and zip it up, and it's going to expand. This one takes a little bit longer. Get all those pieces of dry yeast touching. It's making bubbles. Very slowly. And when I touch this one, it's a little bit warm, so it'll be exothermic chemical reaction. Okay, and you can see it's not quite as pronounced as this bag, but it is definitely making some gas and filling up that bag. Okay? Now, this is good enough on its own. They've learned about solids, liquids, and gases, and they felt the temperature change. But I can show you one more thing, and if you want to try it, you can. Not easy to do by yourself. But whenever you light a stick, I happen to have splints. You could use just a small piece of wood. Get it going. Watch what happens when I put this flame in this bag. It went right out. Any guesses what gas we might have made? It's carbon dioxide, which means there's an absence of oxygen in there, so it put it out. Now, even cooler than that, if you relight this splint and then blow it out so that it's an ember, this is hard to do, glowing like this, nice and hot, but not like in a flame. Put it in here, and it will ignite, which is a major clue that the gas that we made was oxygen. That is so awesome. So, feel free to do this at home. We miss you guys, and have a good day.